Yay! Welcome to night 2 of the 3-day money challenge. So freaking pumped. Not sure if you guys have a love-hate relationship with us yet after day 1's task. And I did want to say this. Yesterday, I usually do the intro, but Whitney and I sharing the stage with this challenge, and I left the challenge thinking like so many things that I normally would say and I didn't, which is fine. But I really wanted to make a point of, and especially if someone's watching day 2 as their day 1 anyway and missed yesterday. The reason this is called 3 ways to save 100K is because I did share this on social media, but I was able, hubby and I were able to save 100K in about 2.5 years. And before that, we're never able to save, always dipped into our savings. Like I think there was about $1,000 in it, right? We could never get past. It was just, I don't know. I know you guys can relate. We hit a spot and then we dip into it and we can never get ahead. And the 3 things that I'm teaching you, which you will pick up by now, like yesterday, there was already like kind of more than 3 things. There was 2 major things yesterday. Today, there's something else. Tomorrow, there's something else. And there's lots of like mini tips inside the bigger tips. Implementing all of these things is what we did to be able to get those results. So that's why I just really, really wanted to make a point of that, because I know 3 ways to save 100K. You might not get there in 3 days, but you're going to learn these skills over 3 days. And if you implement them over time, you can definitely get there. All right. Shall we share the screen? Get day 2. And up and running. Is anyone else like me and just like sings as they talk? Like I sing my words. I just don't realize I'm doing it until. Alrighty. I'm going to handball it over to the gorgeous Whitney. If I can move this video.
Thank you, Kim. So excited for day 2. Oh, I would love to know, pop in the chat, how did you go? How did you feel, in one word, doing last night's homework? I'd love to know before we get into this slide. If I can bring my chat up.
Well, I popped it up there because it's the first question.
Perfect. Thank you. Holy fuck. Genuinely shocked, scared as hell, overwhelmed, shook. Fuck me dead. Surprised, mortified, shocked. Yeah. Trust me, I thought nothing could surprise me when I did the process. I thought, nah, I know we're wasting money. Like I know we are. We've got so many leaky holes. But I was still mortified at certain categories. All I do is eat. I thought I had better control. It was a bit confronting, but also good. Okay. Love it. So it's good to know that foundation and know it's the only way. Did anyone not do it? Eye-opening, good but scary. Yeah, very confronting. It is very confronting because a lot of us have the head in the sands when it comes to money and where it's all going. So I'd love for you, if you've got your workbook or if you're just journaling or popping notes on your laptop, however you're doing this, write down how you were feeling after your day 1 homework. And what emotions came up for you whilst doing this? Did anything surprise you? Were there certain categories that, I don't know, maybe you thought you were really good at, but, I shouldn't say good at, but you thought you were managing your money well, but turns out you probably weren't because you were shocked. I did my yearly and gave me epic insight into where I am spending. It was actually empowering. Oh, thanks, Mandy. I actually got really triggered and super angry. So forgive yourself, Kayla. Food, I knew we spent a bit, but fuck me. Food's huge. I think that was a huge category for us, definitely. Next question, what did you learn about your spending? So I know a few of you are already putting them down at the moment. Food, and what was something that you learned? Maybe you were better or not better, but maybe you were more aware of one category over another category. Had no idea that it's totally out of hand. I am way too flippant. Too much coffee and eating out. I like coffee. Already making adjustments. I'm really mad at myself for letting it get like that, Chloe. So I definitely say forgive yourself. You now have that clarity. So we're moving on from that. I wasted money, beauty stuff, I spend way too much, super weird. I definitely spend more in areas I value like health and wellness and travel. Yes, it was eye-opening to see where spending is going. So many ways I could save more by cutting down subscriptions and using Afterpay, etc. Cool. And then so that brings us to our last question. Is there anything you would like to change? So by gaining that clarity, what straight away is something that you can implement? Is it setting yourself an amount or a percent on a certain category? Or is it, I don't know, buying the coffee machine and taking your coffee with you in a Go cup instead of buying 4 cafe coffees every day? Look at things to try and get spending down. Julie, love it. I wish we could do that. Stop feeding the kids. Only buy what's on my list. So many ways we can improve. Yeah. So this is such a good, as much as it can be mortifying and you can get angry at yourself, you know now, you have that clarity. It's where to from here. What can we implement? How can we plug those leaky holes in our buckets to move forward? Cut subscriptions I don't use or really need. Cutting back on the random food and coffee. Pull the reins on beauty stuff. Less alcohol. Yes, food planning. Yeah, so a huge one when I become aware of our amount on groceries was only 1 trip to the supermarket a week, not every second or third night, because the more times we were going, the more things we were buying we didn't actually need. So it's that 1 trip to the supermarket a week, and that was huge for us, cutting down on unwanted costs. Amazing. Kim, if you got anything to add there, or the next slide.
What is the next slide? Are we straight into it? Oh no, this
Reminder. So little public service announcement. If you join live on the 3rd day, so that will be tomorrow night, we will give you the secret to managing your money for expansion and magnetism. Juicy little to tease you into coming back tomorrow night, excited, ready for all the gold nuggets.
Woohoo! Yay, love it. I'm about to kick off with day 2, but I'm going to make a little point, one of many, tonight. Remember the quote yesterday? Clarity builds wealth, delusion keeps you broke. The little task you did last night is aligned with that, because even though it brought up the shitty, the mortified, the shocked, those hectic emotions that we try and avoid, because of you were living in a state of delusion of where all your money was going and your spending habits before you did that task. So can you see how now clearer? Oh my gosh, get your words, Kim. Let's do this. The more clearer you are now, just on the last 4 weeks, even though it was a bit of a shock, all the shitty feelings that came up, can you see how much clearer you are now with your behaviors and what's going on? I've got the videos up, so I'm seeing I'm seeing Karen with a little guilt, kind of like a guilty smile. Would I call it a guilty smile? Like, yes, Kim. Don't want to agree to this, but yes. Cool. So well done. Massive well done for doing that. I love the fact that you got shocked and mortified. I live for it because it's only going to serve you well, but I know it sucks for you right now because you don't want to feel that way. But you're starting to trudge through that swamp. Remember from yesterday, my little analogy, right? And your feet are getting a bit stuck, and you're just like, fuck, I can see that crocodile coming. Right now, I need to learn the skills. Now I need to get clear on the strategies, so I can make my way through this to get to the grass that's greener on the other side. All right, so now I'm just going to make sure that. Can you see me in the top corner? Because I can only see you, Whitney, when I do that. That's all right. I'll look at you again. I was looking at you last night. So day number 2, tip number 2, kind of tip number 3, but main tip number 2. You must have specific and separate bank accounts. So if money is energy, we discussed that last night, because money is energy. If money is energy and energy needs to flow, then you need to create as much flow within your finances. Now, perfect example here, I'm going to whip up the videos, but I can only see a few of you. I'd love to get some feedback, respond back to me in the chat with this. With in the kitchen, right? We like to have an organized kitchen, as we try to have it as organized as we can. And even when the kitchen is like a fucking mess, do you still put your knives and forks in with the wine glasses? Does anybody do that? Give me a yes or a no. Does give me a no, I don't. I keep them separate. Because like there wouldn't be a sense of flow in the kitchen, right? So it's the same thing with our finances. When you're keeping the money for each category in the one account, it's like you've got the knives, the wine glasses, the Tupperware, the pots and pans, and the spice rack, like all on the one shelf. I don't know about you, but that would just give me like, I would be paralyzed. I wouldn't know what to do. Like, it just freaked me out. I walk away and I just buy takeout or something. Right. Catherine, make a note of that comment and question. We can talk about that at the end. So, because there's wheels and ways around everything. Karen's just put, if anyone's missed it, but we only get decent interest on one account. That's all right. You just got to tweak your strategy. So anyway, another analogy here, another way to look at it is freedom requires structure, right? You cannot have freedom in your life without structure. It needs the structure there. So another example is a river has the ability to freely flow because it has the structure of the river banks. If there were no structure of the river banks there, it would be a lake. It would not be a river. It would not flow. It would just, I know there's like more to it because lakes and rivers are different, but it end up just like, you know, just spilling out all over the top and just end up being still water. So structure also needs solid foundations and a plan or a map or a blueprint, right? Do builders just build a house without a blueprint? If the house you're sitting in right now, I'm going to whip up the video again so I can see you guys. The house you're sitting in right now, if you built it, or it was built on time, and you knew that they didn't follow any blueprints, what else do they call them? Like I'm pretty sure they're just called blueprints. They have fancy names, I think, just if anyone knows it. The big sheets of paper that has all the architectural and engineering, right? If your house right now that you're in did not follow any of that, and the builders were just like, oh, let's slap some bricks here and some wood here and some screws here, would you feel safe sitting in your house right now? Imagine if you were in a 10-story building or a 100-story building. Floor plans. Thank you, Claudette. Plans, yeah. Karen's like, hell no, I'm out of here. I would not, man, I can't even take an elevator on a good day up the top because, I don't know, it freaks me out, right? I would not go into a skyscraper building knowing that it was not built following plans and strong engineering. So it's the same thing when it comes to money. If you want freedom needs structure. And I have another example too, and it's really, really good to wrap your head around these examples because we'll remember the other examples before we ever remember the money stuff because it just seems to work that way. But if you have your day off, right? I'd love to know in the chat if you can relate to this. You have a day off and you're like, no plans, on Sunday, no plans, not book anything in, just going to leave the day free, but not intentionally leaving it free, just don't have anything on Sunday. And you're looking forward to having the day off because you're like, fuck yeah, I get my freedom that day. Or it's going to feel more freeing that day. And then the day comes and, you know, someone calls you up and wants to catch up and you kind of do, but you don't, but you do. And then something else happens and you realize, fuck, I need a food shop because I didn't plan this. And oh my gosh, I need, all my undies are dirty. I need to do washing. And then you start doing the housework and shit just gets on top of you. And then you end up having like or things just start booking up. I can speak to, I know the mums can relate to this lots. My hairdresser, it happens every single week I go into the hairdresser. This is her weekend all the time. She's always hoping for a weekend off, and she's the mum of two, pretty much twins, Irish twins, born very close together. And she like, every time I see her on a Monday, she's like, oh my God, and then this happened and this person caught up, we end up catching up here, and then we end up doing this. Now, you know that feeling where you want that freedom, but you had actually no structure to your day. So the whole day got filled up and you're like, oh my gosh, where did my day go? Or everyone wanted to catch up and you just said yes. Has anyone ever experienced that? I probably could have explained that a little bit better. Yes, yes. Yeah. The people pleaser in me, yes, take it. Cool, because we had no structure. And this is like on a tangent, but like free tip here. This is something I had to implement. I just realized I looked down at my desk and my child has drawn on pen all over the wood. Yay for me. So you love that. I now, if I'm going to have, if I want a day of freedom, a day off of doing the tasks like the housework or any business stuff or all the things, I have to create structure in it. So I have to actively structure in that I am not catching up with anyone, that I'm doing nothing, that I can say no. Because what that structure on my day off gives me the freedom to actually have the freedom that day and do whatever I want. So you can see that this will show up in every area of life. And I love that this is what I'm about. We're not just about money here. If money's just one area of life, we talked about that yesterday. It's about learning these tips and these skills and these strategies and implementing them in all areas of life, right? But when it comes to money specifically, freedom requires structure. If you want financial freedom, you need to create the structure now before you can actually have the capacity to hold more. But I am doing the thing where I get ahead of myself. So we're going to jump on to the next part. And I have another beautiful story for you. Hang on, I got to hit escape first. Whitney, I can't remember if I was introducing, was it me? I'll introduce Mandy because I know you, Mandy. We have the gorgeous Mandy. Mandy, do you want to do the little thing? I learned it yesterday where you put your hand up because then you jump to the top of the list. Raise hand. Whitney taught it to me yesterday. And I want to introduce you to the beautiful Mandy. We met like in March or April. I'll just find you. I heard you come off mute.
Yeah. Can you see me? My hands are waving.
Hang on, let me go gallery. Oh, there you are.
There I am.
Add pin. There we go. All right. This is the gorgeous Mandy. Yeah, when did we connect? We met like March, April?
Yeah, well, I got an email saying it had been 6 months the other day. So 6 months ago, whatever that was. Yeah, March or something.
Yeah,
crazy.
It feels like we've known each other forever though. And I wanted Mandy to jump on and share her wealthy as fuck journey just in the last 6 months, what was going on before and then what's been able to change in just a short 6 month period. I'm going to handle it straight to you, babe, and plug your business because you have an amazing business, guys. Listen up.
Cool, thanks.
Business. All right.
I'll plug it this first. Do the testimonial first. So yeah, hi everyone. You will learn a lot from Kim and just jumping on here because I'm already in the course, and just like when you hear things over again, it's like a nice little reminder and you always learn new things. I think already just like listening to this motivates you in your life as well. So yeah, before I met Kim, I feel like, personal development is such a huge thing for me because that's, just something that I highly value and also what I help other people with in life. But I was like looking at my areas of my life and everything felt really great, except money has been something, that has been something that I've really quite avoided for a long time in my life. And I was like ready to up level my business and up level my life. So whenever I'm feeling like uncomfortable in life, I'm like, okay, fuck it, I've got to do something about it. And actually someone who came to my retreat, Caitlin, recommended you, Kim, when I was talking in my retreat about wanting to improve money in my life. So yeah, before I met Kim and started this journey, I didn't realize how much I was actually living in that mode of scarcity and actually in fight and flight. So my parents are European and they actually escaped Slovakia during communism with my brother and sister to Australia and arrived in Australia with 2 kids and $50. And now like fast forward, 40 years later, they own their own house. They've never had a credit card. They've never had a mortgage. They just like basically work their fucking ass off to get to where they are. So for me, I really learned that I had to work hard to earn money. Like that was like strongly ingrained. Like my dad would work 2 jobs. Like I can never really remember my family ever really having time to like be playful or, you know, enjoy life. They were always working. And mum was pretty tight with her money, like my dad, not so tight. But yeah, after doing the first part of the course in particular, where we learned a lot about, you know, our money beliefs and healing those, I could pinpoint kind of what beliefs I have that are not helpful for me anymore, also see where they came from, and also have a lot of like compassion and understanding and forgiveness, because a lot of the things that I was carrying, mum and dad literally were just doing it for survival and to like keep the family alive. And it was almost like they had to be like that for a certain period of time to get to where they are. And I mean, they're definitely holding on to a lot of beliefs that don't serve them anymore, but really realizing, you know, it's a conscious choice and I have the opportunity to change those beliefs. Yeah, so I was waking up kind of like in fight and flight. The first thing I would be thinking about was like, how do I make money today? You know, like a caveman would be like, how do I go and find food today to survive? I would be like just straight away thinking, okay, what do I have to do to make this money to do this? And really for me, I just really wanted more like safety and security and a feeling of abundance. And I have really shifted those beliefs. Like the way that I feel now is definitely a lot different to when I like first started. So yeah, from working on my beliefs, I got off on a bit of a tangent as well. I was like, have notes, but I'm like, just going off on a tangent as well. But yeah, like some things I used to struggle enjoying spending money, like going out for dinner with my partner. I had like, oh, we shouldn't be spending our money on this sort of stuff, you know, because my mum never wanted to spend money on entertainment. And yeah, I also believed that my worth was based around how much I had in my savings account and how safe I felt for that. So mum and dad, like I said, never had a credit card, never like lent money. So I was like, whoa, I had this like warped perception of the amount of money that I needed to like have saved to be successful and to feel safe in my life. And whenever I would chip into my savings, it really put me into fight and flight and felt like super unsafe. But also I didn't have any structure really either, which is what I'm up to in the course now with the blueprint and a lot of the things that you guys are learning tonight. And from these 3 weeks, I mean, 3 nights can really change your life. And yeah, realizing that as well, yeah, I need this structure in order to have the flexibility and the freedom and the safety and the expansion in my life. So yeah, I feel a lot different. My mindset's a lot more positive and excited about money. I never used to get excited about money, but now I'm like excited to grow and to shift and to expand and to up level. And yeah, I'd also like reached a bit of a like, I didn't really even realize this was a thing until Kim taught me, but now it makes sense, like a threshold with my ability of the money that I could like hold or earn. So no matter kind of like what I did, it was still like the same kind of money. So now I'm like working on expanding my like energetic threshold for the amount of money to call in and to have made every year. So yeah, I've changed a lot and it's been amazing. And I'm excited to like continue to the next level with my blueprint as well, because I feel like I need it a lot. I'm a Gemini, so structure's like something that I avoid, but I'm like, I need this.
Oh, love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you so much. Oh, I do want to share a little bit about your business. I don't normally do this, but why not, guys? You need to learn about Mandy's business.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I have a retreat business called Awakened Wellness here in Perth. I run day retreats and also weekend retreats down south, run breath work, and also got a cool retreat coming up in Sri Lanka in February. So yeah, super passionate, love it. So yeah, check it out if you would like.
Yes. Go on
Yes.
Instagram, Awakened Wellness, and you'll see.
Yeah,
Mandy.
Awakened Wellness. Thanks, Kim.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing. I just that's why I had to get you to share this. Every time I hear your story, I'm just like, oh my gosh, so amazing.
Yeah, thanks.
Love it. Can anyone relate to any of Mandy's experience? I know we already have some things in the chat. Kat saying my mum was the other way and spent money she never had. So yeah, it's still definitely a scarcity thing and wanting more. It's crazy how limiting beliefs can be formed from both ends. Yep, 100%. Can anyone else relate to anything in Mandy's story? And the reason I ask this is because I want to get to know you more. I know I'm going to get to know you more and deeper as we go anyway. My parents were the same. Gosh, don't we love our parents? Thanks, mum and dad, for our money beliefs. See, my dad was the hoarder, and my mum, like both of my parents never had any money. But what's my saying? My mum never had any money. My dad never spent any money. They're both like my dad was so frugal, so like hoarder, and never enjoyed life. And mum, he's still around. That made it sound like he wasn't here. He never enjoys life to his fullest potential. And mum would happy spending, but never had enough, was always waiting for the next payday. Yeah, parents very similar. That's my mum and dad cute. Yeah. All right. Let's get back to the elevator music in the background as it loads. So moving on, what is specific and separate bank accounts? So I know a couple of you actually just joined in the call during Mandy's beautiful story. I'm just bringing up the chat box as well. But we're talking about the next tip is having specific and separate bank accounts. So you have structure inside your finances, so you can create freedom within your finances. So you need to keep separate accounts for your different categories to avoid leaky money and any delusion. We want to avoid delusion and have clarity, right? Delusion keeps us broke. And leaky money is, how many people put in the chat, how many of you had a miscellaneous, or what did I call it yesterday, or what the fuck category? What the fuck did I spend that on? Who had one of those, and how much was in it? Can anyone remember their number? The last 4 weeks, we had 800. Anyone else want to share, guys? I have had, whilst you guys are sharing, I'd love for you to share this, because I've had a couple of you message me saying, hey, should I share my task in the group, or should I just share it to you? And I encourage it in the group, and I understand it can be nervous because, like, fuck all these, like, look at all these spendings. There's going to be so much judgment. The only judgment, if you perceive that other people are judging you, they're just reflecting the judgment you have on yourself. So no one's judging you because they're caught up in their own shit with all their own what the fuck spendings, right? So if you can neutralize that, if you can be bold and brave and start talking about the numbers as if they're not a big deal, you're going to start removing the emotion around the money, which is what your wealthy as fuck version of you wants to be doing. So what have we got here? We've got $500, $500, and 1,000. What the actual fuck? 300, 200. Awesome. And like, again, that's like the 1,000. Sam, good work on your what the fuck account category, I should say. It's not an account, it's a category. That's $250 a week in the last 4 weeks you can't account for. Look at that delusion. Look at that leaking money. We don't want leaky money, right? When I do something, I do it well. Good work, babe. We're going to just flip that to do it the other way around. The wealth building side, which means that the potential for you is huge, isn't it? This is a saying that I heard when I was in one of the money courses I was doing. Money flows to where it's organized most. And I love this. I love this. It supports universal law, which I'm going to get into. It supports the whole structure, all the things. So money flows where it's organized most. So give me now, guys, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being I'm organized as fuck, 0, God help me, Kim help me, I'm dying, like I'm drowning. On a scale of 1 to 10, how organized do you feel with financially? 0 to 1 at best. Take it. I will come save you from your drowning. Well, I'll throw the floaty out. You're going to have to swim to grab it by yourself. I should say that. I don't save people, but I do hand you the life raft, all right? 4, 6, 2, 4, 2, 5, 1, 5, 5, 3 to 4, 4-ish, 6. Well, I thought it was better until now a 1. Love the honesty, Sandra. 5, 5. Spending or organizing, just feeling organized financially. 8. Woohoo! Like seeing it up the other end of the scale. That's good. It's great. 6. Yeah. Okay, I want to touch into. Gosh, I'm blending little sayings here. Tap into universal law. I don't think I'm a master, but I'm a guru in the sense of I just fucking love universal law and how it applies to money. There's multiple universal laws. There's probably about 12 or 13 real like universal laws that govern the universe. I tap into the 3 most powerful ones I have found to allow us to truly step into the feminine and masculine balance around money. Right? That's how I've been able to create the success the same as everyone inside the program. So one of the universal laws is the universal law of refinement. And just you guys, if you're like, what the fuck's a universal law? It's not a universal law of money. Money's just a part of life, and universal laws govern everything within the universe. So usually I just go straight to an example of another. I kind of said it yesterday, actually, didn't I? The universal law of circulation. That is one. Right? How things have to circulate. Nature circulates, time circulates, systems circulate, like the human body. That's a universal law. And the more you resist universal law, the more you will struggle in life. And when we're not conscious of these universal laws, that's where when you feel like you have frustration and struggle and that like irritability, is because you're not in flow, you're not aligning with universal law. You're, what's the word? The opposite to aligning, right? Not misaligned, but yeah, I know you know what I mean. So this is why the more you can understand it, the more you can then recognize your behaviors, your thought patterns, and all those things, especially when it comes to money. Well, yeah, like out of alignment, resisting, yeah. So the universal law of refinement, this is the way I explain it is, this is where the clarity builds wealth, delusion keeps you broke. So the universe loves clarity and specificity. And anyone who's massive into like the manifestation, the spirituality around that, the mindset around that, like the more specific you are, the more likely you're going to get exactly what you want. And it's true with anything. If you come to me and say your goal is I want more money and I give you $1, did I not fulfill, like, did your goal not get fulfilled? Right. But then if you're like, no, I want $100, that's more specific. You're more likely to get it. So there's a universal law of the refinement. The more specific you are with your money, the more clarity you have to expand and grow, which is awesome because you know where you're heading. The more specific you are with how much you need for each spending, saving category, the faster you'll receive it. Again, it's the manifestation aligned with the law of attraction as well. And you know this, right? I just thought of like no, I won't use that example, but if you know you want to buy your next house, all of us, if not like all of us at some point will, if you ever want to buy a house, you'll go through this where you're like, right, I want to buy a new house. Now you'll go to the broker and they will tell you exactly how much you need for a deposit. And you want to find that out, right? Because you don't want to be saving. And you're like, I'm going to save this amount I'm just going to keep saving and hopefully have enough for deposit, but I have my eye on this kind of house and it's in this kind of price range. And then you go have the meeting with the broker and they tell you you're like $30,000 off your deposit. And it's like, oh, fuck's sake, I've got to, like, that's going to take me another X amount of time, X amount of weeks, months, years even to get. Can you see how you weren't working in alignment with the law? So you're getting frustrated. So it's the same thing in all areas of money. Sorry, my child's knocking at the door. I know you probably can't hear it because we've learned that my Zoom doesn't pick up any other noise but my voice. Don't mind her. But yes, universal law of refinement. Clarity builds wealth, delusion keeps you broke. So actually, I think I'm talking more and I have a second page around all this. Let me just make sure I'm not skipping ahead. Oh, here we go. This is my favorite universal law. But just with that universal law of refinement, the more specific you are means separate bank accounts for different categories for your different goals, expenses, spendings. So there's clarity with everything. There's no crossover. There's no leaks. There's no delusion. All right, let's talk about this. This is my favorite universal law ever because this one, they all changed my life and they all work with each other. They're all intertwined. But the way you understand this, when I really understood the universal law of handling what I had, everything changed. And guys, hint, you can apply this to every area of your life because it's a universal law. But let me see, I can rant on all day about this. So the universal law of handling what you have: calm builds wealth, chaos keeps you broke. Calm builds worth, chaos keeps you broke. If you look at it that way. The more you handle what you have, the more you will receive. You're handling the chaos. You're calming it down and you're opening up space for more money. Right? So in another way with handling what you have, it's around, and this is really what the Wealthy as Fuck program hones in on, because it's handling your emotions around money, and it's also handling physically, like the actual money in the bank, the logistics. And this 3-day challenge is very much focused more on the logistics. You know, everything I've talked about is there's a lot of mindset as well, but I'm giving you specific tangible things you can go do and set up. But you need to learn to handle what you have. And we all know the story of the person who wins lotto and then becomes even more broke, if not bankrupt, 12 months later. Has anyone heard that, a story or something similar? Put a guess in the chat. I'm watching the chat box. Yeah. I have people in my family this happened to, because they didn't know how to handle what they have. Have you in your life received a large amount of money and then you're like, now where the fuck did that go? Or yeah, and I spent it all on this. Or I was low. You're like, you know what? I just inherited, or I inherited $60,000 when I was 21. And so the only thing I have to show for it is my boobs. I paid for those. I went to Thailand. I just happened to write off. How's this, right? This is understanding this law. I happened to write off my car, and I've never crashed my car. But at the time I was like, oh, thank God I just got all this money. Now I can buy a brand new car in cash. That was 10 grand. I don't know if I paid off my credit card, because this was when I was 21. So 10 years ago, I got my boobs done when I was 23 or 24. So I didn't get it when I was 21. I got it when I was about 23, 24, but all the other cousins got it when they were 21. I was the oldest. That's when it happened, right? So I can't remember that far back. I think I managed to get it down to 15 grand, and I was like, yep, I cannot get lower than this. And then that was spent when hubby and I moved to Canada in 2018, which was right before I started doing all of this work. But like, there's about 40 grand, and I'm like, what happened? Well, 30 grand, what happened? Where did I spend that? Like, it's not like I had anything. I still had a credit card until I started doing this work. Do you know what I did do? Has anyone done this? I'd love to join the chat. You get a lump sum of money and you want to help out someone you love. The first actual thing I did was give Daniel, my husband now, we were dating at the time, $2,000 to pay off one of his credit cards that was in debt collection to clear his credit history. This was 10 years ago, almost. We had broken up twice after that. So it's not like, thank God we've been together this whole time. Thank God he cleared that credit rating now that we're married. But yeah, I used to be so embarrassed around it, but I wasn't handling what I had. I didn't have the emotional capacity, energetic capacity to handle $60,000, even though fucking oath I wanted it and it felt amazing and I felt rich in that instant. Yeah, so 64 grand when I was 25. Tax money is almost spent before I get it. Yeah, same here. Yeah, to help out when they want to spend money. Yeah. Cool. So we understand that you're not in alignment. For you to get to your money goals right now, you're not acting in alignment with the universal law of handling what you have to match those goals. You are acting to handle what you have now. That's why you keep feeling like you're staying where you're staying, or you take one step forward and then 10 steps back, and then you get ahead again a little bit, and then unexpected bill comes and it pisses you off, and then all the shit, right? The roller coaster. So you need to learn to handle what you have. By doing this specific separate bank accounts, you're aligning with this universal law to a high degree. Now, here's a little tip here. You can have a mix of card accounts and online only. That's what I do. You don't need cards for everything. You decide what suits you. I have about 7 cards and that's enough. I have about 20 bank accounts. I do have a business, don't forget. So a few of them are business accounts as well. I maximize offset accounts. You can find banks that have no fees. I use NAB for this reason. And I've already got it there. Utilize all offset accounts if applicable. Call up your bank. Ask them what's available, because they're not going to tell you can have multiple, because they don't want you offsetting your mortgage. They want you paying as much interest as you can. But you just have to step into that personal power. And if you have questions about this, save them till the end, because this is where, like, I know lots of questions come up, and I'll give you the best answers that I can, the simplest ones that I can for you, so you can at least make some steps forward. So, didn't breathe through that. All right. What if I told you that you could have a 6-figure savings account just by following a simple money management system? I should change that to say blueprint. Put in the chat. What would you say to that? What if I told you that you could have a 6-figure savings account just by following a money management system? Got some fuck yeses in there. That's what I like to see. All right, I'm going to close down the chat for now. I'm about to word vomit on you because I am one step ahead of my own slides. I'm sharing with you info on Wealthy as Fuck. I told you yesterday I'm going to be doing that because we're so damn proud of what this is creating for people. The only way you're going to learn about it is if I give you the information. Remember how I said, usually at the start, I say, these are just your first steps. So, Whitney and I are doing this together this time. So we shared the load on the intro. I want you to have success with this whole thing, right? This is why I do what I do, because you already sense the vision and the mission. That's why you're here. You're like, fuck yes, need this. So if you have loved the last 2 days, and I know we have one more day, but let me talk to you about how my program works and how that will work for you and the results we are able to achieve together. Who's excited to learn about this? I'd love to know in the chat. Who's curious? I know some of you might actually already know, but that's okay. By the way, if you hear my chair squeaking, it's my chair squeaking, nothing else. I was like, that was a really loud squeak. Yes. Okay. If I haven't word vomited on you enough, we're about to get some more. So introducing Wealthy as Fuck. Now, I will say this here. Everyone thinks this is a money program, and it is a money program, but essentially it's a program to help you step into and align with your most wealthy as fuck self. It's all about self-worthiness. It's all about you feeling good enough and you creating that sense of good enough and you learning the skills and the strategies to be more than good enough with money and your finances and all the things. So this is the only online course for money and self-worth that you'll ever need to do, in my opinion, and possibly in a lot of the clients who are already a part of it, their opinion as well. So you'll completely transform your mindset and shift your blocks, beliefs, and sabotaging money behaviors. You're going to implement the practical step-by-step signature money blueprint to manage your money the right way with universal law. You're going to be ditching the overwhelm and breaking through your income glass ceilings. Especially, this is relevant for business and non-business. Whether you're fixed income, you heard from Whitney yesterday. Fixed income, still she's been attracting in the last 12 months, she's attracting over $10,000 in all different ways. And in business, I understand I'm in business, I have had a glass ceiling for a long time until I did this work. I say become financially free. I should asterisk this because financially free is different for everyone, but it's becoming financially free is in a sense of flow and calm and ease within your finances, so you can step into personal power and make money work for you, not the other way around. Yeah. So you're going to get out of debt, stop spending more than you're making, start creating your path to financial freedom so you can stop feeling like you're not enough. And just a little disclaimer here, when I first launched this is normally a 6-month course. So keep that in mind when I share with you what I've decided to do. Guys, did someone just come off mute? Whitney, can you check that? Remember, guys, I'm a magpie. Anything shiny, anything distraction, I'll lose my train of thought. So it's not, normally I've been running this as a 6-month course, okay? So keep that in mind. So remember this pretty picture we saw at the start. So this is the signature blueprint, the pillars that we run the program around. So we heal your past with your mindset. You learn my 3-step process to reprogram your mind. We do some work on mum and dad, whoever the parental figures are. I'm so fucking transparent, guys, but I'm not here to scare you away, because I understand this is emotional work. And if the thing is, the emotions are those crocodiles in the swamp ready to attack you. We've got to learn how to fight the crocodiles, learn the strategies to remove the emotion. All right. Whitney, can you just mute, keep an eye on the sound? Everyone, please make sure you're muted. So, where was I going with that? Learn the skills. Well, that's right. It's really fucking simple. It's only 3 steps. But the first time you do it with one of your money beliefs, it can feel like it can take a bit of energy to break through and rewire the brain. But we're rewiring the subconscious mind, which is 4 million times stronger than your conscious mind, which is why you can say and look in the mirror and say your affirmation and say, I'm wealthy as fuck. And inside your head, you're like, you don't fucking believe it, because you still go out and dip into your savings and do all the things, right? Your conscious mind is not what we're working on here. We're working on your subconscious. Very simple, very, very simple. Then the manifestation, this is the science behind manifestation. This is the embodiment, raising your energetic vibrations so you become a vibrational match to the wealthier version of you. You implement your rituals, learn the rituals. This is like going to the gym. I always say this, if in 6 months' time, if I decide to book in to run a marathon, right? If I want to make sure I don't die, because I'm not a runner, if I want to make sure I can at least hopefully finish the marathon, anyone else with me here on running? I need to start training today as if I'm already a marathon runner. And I need to implement the rituals and the habits to make sure that I can maintain it. If I was to not do any training in 6 months' time, try and run the marathon, I'll probably pass out at the 500-meter mark, because I'm not a runner. Unless you gave me wine at like every 100 meters, I reckon I could get through most of it. Then crash and burn. But can you see where I'm saying? Like, it's like going to the gym. You don't, if you go to the gym tomorrow, you're not going to wake up 10 times stronger the next day, right? You got to put in time. This is what this party is about. But it's simple. It's just the consistency, which we hold you accountable for that. Then there's the management, which I know so many of you are like, yes, I want the management. Tell me how to manage your money, because you're on this challenge, and I do focus a lot around the management pillar in this challenge. This is where you learn the 6 steps to set up your signature money blueprint, 7 steps if you have a business, because then you also get the business blueprint as well. It's fucking phenomenal, guys. It will change your life. Like, this in itself, this blueprint, look. Who's in I think we just have Whitney and Mandy who's in the course. If there's anyone else in the chat, in a few words, share how this blueprint has changed your life. Even Mandy's only just up to implementing it now. But yeah, you're going to learn the management part. I've rambled on enough about that. So I just want you to understand the journey, the experience, the focus areas. I could teach you how to manage your money until the cows come home, but if you don't work on the mindset and reprogram your mind, you will be very similar to that lotto winner, in a sense of you could manage your money and get your 5 figures, multi 5 figures, hit 6 figures in your savings, and still never feel like you have lots of money. You still feel like there's not enough. All right. And the same is, you need to work on your behaviors. Like the manifestation, it works inside with this, because, if you do the work on your mindset and you reprogram your beliefs, but your behaviors with your spendings are still like, let's go out on the weekend, every weekend, let's just splash on this, or let's just be, you just want to be generous, give, but you're not receiving, being open to receiving, acting like the person who can set boundaries, you're still going to feel shit, right? So after my 5, it's been almost 6 years now of me doing the work on myself. I've done mindset courses, I've done manifestation, I've done management. You need all 3. All right, so what's included? So it's an online course. It is the main core teachings of the Wealthy as Fuck program. I've set it up as an online course. There's 4 modules, 24/7 access to all learning materials. You get all the templates and the worksheets to get the results really fast. Module 1 is recoding your money programming. Module 2, internal upgrade. Module 3, Rituals of a Wealthy Person. Module 4, the Money Management System. So it's made up of 16 lessons of step-by-step strategies and coaching processes for permanent change. I designed this program for the independent mum who owns a business, because she usually wears all the fucking hats. So if we come under any of the categories, and maybe none of them, essentially we have a little less on our plate. It's not about comparison, but we just know, if I know a lot of you on here are mums, I know a lot of you on here run businesses, I know a lot of you on here are independent financially, right? So and you're busy, you're fucking busy, I get it. I want this to be self-paced. I want you to not, there's so many things out there that you dive into it and they try and get you there in a short period of time, and then 2 years later you feel like you're in the same fucking spot because you did remember the 2 years ago when you tried to do that course. We've all done that. So that's why it's normally was a 6-month program, right? It's because you need that teething period. You can now have it and get lifetime access to the course when you join. The total price is $3,300. That's got the GST included, right? Which I know, talking about, again, the minute we talk about money, it can bring up shit. But I can tell you right now, the value of this is life-changing. It is worth 10 times the price of it. You even heard Whitney say last night that she would pay 10 times the price of it. But no, I've got to make it affordable. But this is permanent change. So you get this, and everything you learn, the systems, the strategies, you'll never go backwards, right? And anyway, I'm skipping ahead because I know I've got some things I want to share. So the bonuses that are included. So the core of it is the 4 modules. I'm going to give you the exact spreadsheet I use to save 100K and create financial freedom with my money. It is sexy. I hate spreadsheets other than this one. I can't live without this spreadsheet. It is full of the wealth principles and fundamentals. It follows universal law. It is pre-formulated, guys. It's not a cookie cutter, because there's lots of stuff out there. There's a very popular book that's going around, that's been around for a while, which I've read, which I won't say, which tries to fit you into a cookie cutter, how to manage and allocate your money. This doesn't do that. It's pre-formulated, but we fit you fit into it. It fits around you, right? It's like, it's worth $1,000. It's in its own right. It's fucking life-changing. I don't know what's going on in the chat, but I know, like, if I was to take this spreadsheet away, because I know Whitney's on and she uses it, if I was to take it away from her, she'd hunt me down and probably shoot me. So it's gold. You also, on top of the lifetime access of the online course, you get 12 months worth of live group coaching. We have live coaching calls. There are 2 on a week. So you get that one-on-one / intimate feel. There's a Facebook support group for our close-knit community. It's fucking awesome in there. It's so supportive, so amazing. Ask all your questions, all that jazz. You also get there's a replay vault of all the weekly calls for your playback convenience. We only keep 10 in there at a time because, hello, we're busy. You do not have to watch the replays. They're just there for you guys who are like podcast junkies and just want to listen to shit all the time. You've got the replays in there too. Based on how I've set out this course, you only need to jump on one group coach a month for accountability. Whitney and I show up twice a week to eliminate excuses, and we play our part. We are there to support you, and we are inside the Facebook group every day during the week. We're there to hold your hand. You just have to hold it back, right? There's also a shitload of bonus trainings. I've got little screenshots for you, and some manifestation guided audios, which, by the way, I have just recorded 2 more embodiment ones, very short, powerful little ones. So ladies who are already inside Wealthy as Fuck, they are going to be, and anyone who's joining, that's going to be added this week. So there's actually going to be 4. There's 2 now. There's going to be 4. So it's about $12,000 worth of extra bonuses. So this is what it looks like. The audios, there's going to be 2 more added. You literally just plug and play, headphones. You hear my beautiful serenading voice. We have things like guest masterclasses that are building up. When I run some business free masterclasses as a separate thing I love to do, I chuck it in here for all the business ladies. These are all the bonus trainings. I constantly add into this. This is also like eventually I'm working on it. There's going to be a spreadsheet for kids because they don't need the full spreadsheet because they don't need to be putting away for a mortgage or rent. So things like that in there, you can see manifestation ritual. We run this as a little challenge as a group sometimes. This in itself, this training here, having a healthy relationship, money relationship with your partner, aka anyone in your life, this is fucking life changing. This is life coaching. We talk about trauma responses and money and all of those things. And I can tell you now, because of when I learned this and now I'm teaching it, because I implemented in this, because my husband to this day can still trigger me financially. God, I love him. But we don't fight about money anymore. Like nothing that, and trust me, I won't even get into it because we haven't got the time, but look, 2.5 years ago, his sister passed away in a car crash. Whole world flipped upside down. His motivation to work, and he's a sole trader, he works for himself, has never been the same. So things have been way more rocky and things would trigger me. But me knowing just this stuff in this training itself, let's just say I don't want to divorce him, okay? I love him dearly. I can get it. Anyway, I know you're catching the drift. I'm not seeing what's going on in the chat or your faces. So let's move on here. So I want you also to know, so they're the bonuses that come. And then I've added additional bonuses for everyone who wants to join this November. The reason I say November, because doors will close. I've extended it till the 13th of December, just because there's a few of you, and I couldn't get in, is going away and can't get in to chat to me, or maybe need a bit more time. Pretty much it's a November intake, but I've extended it a little bit into December. Then doors are closing for 2023, and I'm not going to have these options on the table anymore. But you get a choice out of 2 extended payment plan options, and I am not putting any interest on it. So you could pay off the investment into yourself with usually payment plans, they add an additional 10 to 30%. I know this because that's what they teach you in business coaching, because when you have a business and things like this, you're rewarded for paying up front, or they add on to the payment plan. I'm not doing that for you this round. I'm interest-free payment plan. There's going to be 2. I'm going to work with you guys, but there's 2 to choose from, and you're going to think we're fucking crazy for creating that for you. But I just want you to learn this stuff, and I want you to decide that you're worthy enough to learn this stuff and make the change for your life, for your future, permanently. The first 10 people will also receive a $300 gift voucher to put towards the course, so $300 off, and that will be worked into the payment plan as well if you choose payment plan option. Also, sorry, that was very loud. Also, 50% off any of the one-on-one VIP support package add-ons with Whitney. Whitney inside the program. If you need, few of the ladies go, I just need a one-on-one. And I offer it too, but Whitney's, you spend less. Mine are a little bit more expensive. So it's up to you who you want to go with. But Whitney is friggin' amazing, and she does this for the ladies. And if you're like, yeah, I just need one-on-one, can you give me 60 minutes? And some tech support just to get through some things. If you're a member inside Wealthy as Fuck, you'll get 50% off whatever you choose. There's some packages you can choose if you want. Also, I made this decision yesterday after watching a very fucked up reel, because I know what's been going on. But yeah, we won't get into it because it's a real fucked up topic, and what's going on in the world. But I've decided yesterday that I'll be also donating a percentage from the sales from this enrollment period to the victim of the Gaza bombings, the war. I don't even know what to call it because I don't want to fucking get it wrong. I haven't worked out the percentage yet because I literally decided yesterday, but there will be a nice chunk going towards that because I really want to help. So if you do join in this enrollment period, you're going to be helping put towards that, which is amazing. And if I know some of you already has shared, if you know any good places to send the money, I need to make sure I send it to somewhere where it's actually getting to the people and the victims. So anyway, let's lighten it up a bit. So why now is the right time? So approximately 1 in 5 households have no more than $1,000 in their savings. This is Australian stats as of 2022, 2023. Cost of living is rapidly increasing. Yay, so exciting for us. We've all felt that. Nearly 1 in 6 families or people have to tap into their emergency savings. I forgot that I didn't say this on day one. I say it all in my social media. Technically, you don't call it an emergency fund because we don't want to attract emergencies, but because people aren't managing their money in the right way, they need to tap into their emergency savings, right? Approximately 1 in 5 could only maintain their lifestyle for a month if they lost their income. And that's a really powerful question to ask yourself right now. If you lost your income, how much money do you have? What have you got going on so you could maintain the same lifestyle? How long could you give yourself? Time equals money. This is not to inspire scarcity. I hate that. Like, we're not about that. But the reality is you can always make more money. You can never make more time, right? Time is moving, ticking along anyway. So if time equals money. If you can collapse time and learn this shit as soon as you can and set the strategies and systems in place, you're going to have more money over more time. What to expect in 2024. I'm also not doing any more 30-minute free sessions, and there's a potential price increase. As of course, I'm always invested in myself, evolving, inflation, all the things. Those in business, you get it. Also, why the time is now is more than ever, women are stepping into their own personal power, not relying on their partners for a decision, and they are leading their ways for their family. They're just in a position where they're like, right, I want to do that. How? So they're getting coaches, they're getting help, they're learning from the people who've already done it so they can do it too. While I breathe, you're welcome to read. I just wanted to share some more. I always share little wins. As we said yesterday, we celebrate weekly wins. Like this person, I share some that are like really epic, and then some that might seem quite little, but you have to celebrate everything on the way. And little to one person is big to someone else. So like our gas bill's in credit, and I've picked up extra casual work for the rest of the term. Received our gas bill yesterday and we're $400 in credit. Also, my back pay from last year was approved and processed this week. Did my monthly invoicing, and not only isn't it my biggest month yet, one of my clients paid her $1,500 invoice in less than 5 minutes of me sending it. This was within 1 month of this lady doing the program. And I normally pay with the credit when I go. So this one to me, even though there's no numbers or credits, this to me is huge. I normally pay with credit card when I go away and save my own money for something else. This obviously makes us more in debt, but this time, for the very first time, I paid with my money. It was there and I was okay parting with it to pay for our 3-day getaway. How fucking empowering would it be to you to know that you do not have to swipe a credit card and get that feeling of owing money just to go do something high in your values? Right? In this program, we teach you if you want to be able to travel and do other things, and we set that up for you. Obviously, we're realistic and see what's available, but we do that. So that empowerment, like to me, and this lady, she was only 2 months into the program when she sent me this. So if you want in or you want to ask some questions, I understand we're talking money and all the things. And look, I've done my absolute best to cover everything here anyway. If anything's coming up for you, like, or you just need to run it by us, or like any objections or whatever, like, we're here to help. This is our mission. We're doing this. We want to be here and support you. If you want in, get on a call with me or Whitney. If you've already booked it, you're fine. You're already 1 step ahead. The call is to just see if you're a right fit and see if it's a right fit for you. And please know this, normally I only take in 10 people each month. They fill every month. Last time around this challenge, I extended it to 20 and they all got snatched up. I also have extended it, the enrollment capacity. Don't want you to miss out, but there is a limit purely based on you get that exclusive feel. You're not just a number. Doors will close on the 12th of December, so last chance to join with a special offer then. This is your golden ticket. All right, what else have I got here? Woo! Now my speaking is done. I think we're handing over to the gorgeous Whitney to tell you your homework.
Awesome. So that is wrapping up the end of night 2, depending where you are. I think we're all night anyway by now. But anyway, so your homework tonight is to distinguish the different accounts you need to create flow in your organization and stop any leaks. You've now identified those leaks going through your 4 weeks of bank statements. So you know what holes you need to plug in your leaking ship or leaking bucket. So if you've got the workbook, it is on page 11. If you're just journaling or however you're taking your notes and doing your homework, if you have certain categories there's no cookie cutter here. It is what feels good for you. If you have certain categories that you would like to condense, because that makes sense, having 2 or 3 of a specific category condensed into one account, then do that. I popped in the chat earlier. I actually counted my accounts this week, and I think it was I can't even remember now what I said. It was 17. I've got 6 savings accounts and 11 everyday accounts. And to some people, they might be like, holy shit, that's a lot. But I'm so damn specific with our accounts, and it feels good for me having that amount of accounts. You do not need that amount of accounts. It's what feels good for you. So Lily's put, what kind of different accounts? Could you please provide an example? So for me personally, you'll have your incoming account. Sorry, everyone will have an incoming account. I think we'll go more into this tomorrow. Kim, thumbs up if we do. Yeah. And then I have a specific fuel account. We have our own individual, my hubby and I, our splurge accounts. It's what feels good for you. If you like to put everything with your car, fuel, rego, insurance, everything to do with your car, you're going to have a car account. It's what feels good. Kayla, I said, holy shit, just as you did. Yeah, I can't tell you what categories you should have, because again, what feels good for me and my categories and my accounts won't feel good for someone else. So it's what feels good for you. Awesome. That answered your question, Lily. But yeah, pretty straightforward. So all you need to do, bring your homework to tomorrow night's call of what accounts you will be condensing, what categories will be condensed into what account. And we will go from there tomorrow. I'm so excited. 1 more day to go.
Oh yeah, that's day 3. Oh, that's just me. Let me bring up Whitney as well. Love it. Does anyone have any questions? Read the homework. Whitney explained it perfectly, but while you're putting questions in the chat, just know that this doesn't need to be absolutely perfect. And if you have the perfectionism in you, which if you're a self-sabotager, you probably do. Yeah, seeing some nods happening. We want to get it perfect. If you follow the workbook, it's there as well. It's just about you would have already seen the different categories you had. It's just about starting to create that specificity. Pretty sure that is the actual real word. I heard it once. Right. So your mantra is, it's not a big deal. I'm just getting organized. It's not a big deal. I'm just getting organized. There's no right or wrong. You're just starting. All right. So now I'm going to whip it back I'm going to remove gallery view. So that's it for day 2. Does anyone have any questions? If anyone wants to, my heart rate, I just checked my little thing and my heart rate's up a little bit. I must be excited. It normally sits at 75 and it's at 82. Woo, money challenge getting me excited. Anyone have any questions on that? Or is it, I'm pretty sure we're nice and straightforward and yeah, everyone's great. Does anyone have any questions about anything we talked about today? Like banking, like anything else I did? I just love answering questions, guys. Can you tell?
There was the question early on. What I can't remember who it was from.
Was it Catherine? Was it you? Catherine, are you even still on? Where are you? Was it you, babe? Were you saying about interest?
Yeah, when certain accounts only have the higher amount of interest.
Yeah. So you'd be talking more on things like savings because you want to get the most interest. Is that what you mean? Or are you talking about, do you want to come off mute? Do you want to talk about this? We can give you some free tips and clarity around it. And if anyone else has to go, no worries. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Yeah, so we've got the one account, and I've just lump all the money into the savings account because it's got obviously the most amount of interest.
Mhm.
And then we just basically dig in there every month to just pay whatever needs paying or shopping or whatever. It's not actually a savings account because it's a working account, I guess.
Now, is it because from my understanding, I could be wrong, usually when you have high interest savings accounts, firstly, you lose your bonus interest if you withdraw from it anyway? Or is it designed to, usually if it's a high interest, it's designing to encourage you to keep money in there?
Yes. Yeah. So it's so as long as we grow the account by $1 every month, it's fine. So you can use the money, you can take it back out as long as it's $1 higher at the end than what it is
And
before.
can you have more than one of these accounts, or are you only allowed one?
I can have more savings accounts, but I only get the higher interest on the one.
Okay. So what is the interest rate?
5.5.
5.7. That is not too bad. That's actually really good. So if you were to think about, I couldn't work it out of the top of my head right now because it's like too many numbers, but if you were to work out how much interest you're making by having everything in there versus if you like, that would be, for me, I would have my savings do not touch, or whatever the biggest savings is that I'm growing. Usually it's the savings do not touch, which I talked about yesterday. I was like, which day did I talk about? The do not touch one, the cash cushion, whatever, the sexy one, you're going to name it something sexy. I'd have it as that, and then have other accounts too, and have other savings accounts for other savings things. What I was trying to say is usually the interest that you're making, if you were to do the separate things and follow this universal law, it won't match what you're actually going to attract in other ways, if that makes sense. I'm just thinking, because there's so much I want to talk into this, because I know it's like made it juicy enough to be like, as long as we have $1 in, like we get the 5%. I can't give too much on this because I need to know like how much exactly we could work out. What does this 5% look like? Because there's other things as well of, could you open up a long-term deposit on something if you want to chase that 5% and have money sitting in there and start creating that, and so you're still going to get your 5%. Do you see what I mean? I'm just trying to think of different ways that you can still earn that. But yeah, it's the energetics of, I kind of already explained everything that I'm about to say. I've already gone through it all. But yeah, it's the energetics. If you keep it all in the one account and then you're dipping, you're trying to save, and then you need to pay for this and pay for that. It's just delusional in that sense. It's, you think, oh, we've got 10 grand in here now, and then you got to pay for this X, Y, and Z. And then the next month, like, you feel like it's growing, but then it's like, it's growing, it's dipping, it's growing, it's dipping, and it's confusing money. And look, when this is no clarity, I'll just read in the chat. If you were totally fine and it was working really well for you, you wouldn't be on this call anyway, babe. So
no, absolutely. That's exactly what it is. It's not great.
Yeah.
To do this. Like, it's not made. I mean, I guess we just pushed our money as hard as we could. And I guess getting the 5.5% every month is worth it, because I didn't know any better or any different. Yeah. And I wasn't going to do the barefoot investor thing with all the little accounts because I couldn't see the value in it.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And look, 5% is fucking epic, right? Epic for what the banks are giving you. And that's the thing. That was the book that everyone's read that I was talking about. I'm pretty sure everyone picked up on that. It's different. It's a cookie cutter thing, where the thing is, at the end of the day, I have money, my savings, because we fixed our interest. Here you go, guys. I don't go too much into this because we do this more in the program specifically on you, especially if you're a homeowner. But originally we had a variable more interest rate on our mortgage, right? So the best thing for us to do, because we didn't have any other investment strategy, was to chuck our biggest savings and all our savings into offsets. But now our savings actually sits on the house because we fixed it. So the only way, now I don't never encourage this unless you have removed the emotion around money. But to me, if I was to have money sitting in a 5%, earning 5% here, or knocking off a whole chunk off my mortgage, like to reduce the interest there, in the long run, I'm saving more that way. I don't know your full setup, and this is why if we do work together, we'd be able to get it like perfectly to you and what is going to suit you and your lifestyle and where you guys are at. And also, I was gonna start talking about investment, but I'm not a financial advisor, so it's a very tricky topic. But there are ways. We want to get you feeling so fucking confident that when you do create your cash cushion and earn the right to invest, that you can do something that's going to earn you more than 5% a month. Do you know what I mean? We want to get your brain thinking there. We want to get you like expanding like the opportunities. Anyway, not my absolute zone of genius. The zone of genius is getting you the money and everything organized. So then when you go learn the things, you have it there and you have the confidence. But yes. Karen's just saying ING and St. George have really good interest rates, but lose interest if you withdraw. Yeah, most of them do. I don't know all the banks. Usually people ask me what's the best banks, blah, blah. I don't know every single bank and all of what's on the table. I always encourage you to go research and follow your gut and feel what's good for you. No one else had any other questions? I'm going to let you go. Some of you need to go to bed because I forget that daylight savings over East. All right, so this task is not as daunting as yesterday's task was the most daunting. Okay, tomorrow's task is just really simple. If you have the workbook, you can already see it anyway. I'll see you tomorrow. Book in your call if you haven't already. Oh, I will say this. If you do want to express interest, because I only have 10 of those vouchers, $300 vouchers to give away, please send me a message. You don't have to like sign up today. We could talk and all those things. Or if you need to express interest and ask me any questions, like please just reach out and do that, so I can have a feel of, just in case you get on a call in 2 weeks time and all the vouchers are gone. I don't want that. I need to know what's up so I can do the best for everyone. Okay, all right, love you guys, have the best night.